Hey y'all, welcome back to shop. Today we're back on the K301. Finally got the cam shims in that we've been waiting on. He checked all my local places, nobody had them in stock, said they could order them, be a week or two. Checked online, found a place that said they were in stock, and I went ahead and ordered them, and they were shipping from the manufacturer. So rather than cancel the order, I just said heck with it, I'm tired of dealing with it. We'll just wait. They said it'd be 3 or 4 days. It ended up being a week and a half. So, but we got them. So let's get them thrown in and finish getting this motor put together. All right, y'all. I don't quite remember where we left off last time, but I do need to measure the. I remember measuring it and saying I need at least 5 thousandths more shim. I pulled the old shim out. I'm gonna check right now to see exactly what it is, and so I'm gonna throw a 20 thousandths feeler gauge right up in here at the top of this cam. And that's really loose, so let's bump up to a 22 thousandths because I got 2 5s and a 10. So let me find my eyeballs aren't working real well this morning, so there we go. There's 22. That's still really loose. Now it says you want between 3 and 10 thousandths free play, so I'm trying to figure out how much we have total, and then we'll throw a spacer in there, or a shim in there. We'll jump up to 24 thousandths here. I'm guessing we're going to need about 15 thousandths worth of shim. Now that's getting a little snug right there. Still a little loose, but we're getting closer. So, alright. I'm going to shut the camera off. You guys see what I'm doing. I'm going to find out what we need, and I'll bring you back when we go to put them in. Alright, y'all. Got that measured out. Come out to about 26 thousandths total end play. So we need to be between 3 and 10 thousandths. So if we put the 15 thousandths in there, that's going to give us 10. And I think if we use the old shim, which I think is it feels like a 5 thousandths, it looks like a 5 thousandths, that should get us right down around 5 thousandths end play, which I'm happy with. So I'm going to get the cam pin pulled out and get these other shims all pulled apart, and we're going to get them put in there. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, 10, 15, 20, yep. We should have 6 thousandths left. Let's see if we can find a 6 thousandths shim, our feeler gauge here. Perfect. A little bit of drag in there. Feels good. Alright, we're going to go with that. So we got that all straightened out, ready to go. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to pull the cam back out. We got to put our lifters, or tappets. These are tappets, they're not actually lifters. Put our flat tappets in there, and we'll be ready to drop the crank in and install the piston connecting rod. So let me get that. Let me get them tappets cleaned up. They're over in a parts washer right now. We'll get that and get them up in there. Alright, y'all. Got the tappets here. We're going to put a little assembly lube on them. A little assembly jelly. Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice. A little bit more. Little's good, more's better. Alright. Ooh. Like butter. Just like butter. Now, I'm going to take my shims. If I can get them picked up. We're going to put a little assembly lube on them, because we won't be taking this back out. Got my shims all lubed up here. Put a little bit down here. Hopefully they'll stick into place a little better. Alright. Got my cam here. Put a little bit of assembly lube on that. Always good to lube your stuff up, guys. Never go in dry. Hold your tongue just right to get that cam to drop down in there. Come on. Come on, Betsy. Just come up out of there. Come on. Come on! There we go. Alright. Let's see if I can get that in there. Get my little screwdriver so I can get my shims back in place. Alright. A little assembly lube on this other shim. Get it slid in there. The top. We're going to assembly lube up our where our cam pin goes through. Put a little bit on that. It's lovely. Alright, through the top shim. Making a mess on my table underneath here, but it'll be alright. There we go, we're through. Alright, grab me a towel, wipe that stuff off my hands, wipe it off my screwdriver that I just threw down in there. Alright, now on the cam pin, the tapered fit down in this bottom end, so we're just going to take a little mallet action, and yeah, mallet's not heavy enough, so we'll get a hammer and we'll tap her down in there. But yeah, that's how your cam pin stays. And then the side cover on top here actually keeps it from coming through the other way. So alright, we got that. She spins all nice and freely. Not a lot of end play in it, especially now that we got that assembly lube in there. She's not clicking, so she's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright, we're going to check the end gap on these rings. And easy way to do it. Just put your ring in there. Take your piston. Get it square in the hole. And then take a feeler gauge. And on these it says between 10 and 20 thousandths. And there's a 10 thousandths right there. I like to have mine gapped a little more, you know, or on a little bit on the open side. 20 thousandths just won't quite go down in. Let's get a 18 thousandths here. Check with an 18. 18's just starting to go down in. Let's try a 16. 16 is. So yeah, we're gonna be good on that. This is the second ring here, so we know it's good. Check our top ring. Get it started in there. Take a piston. Now if you guys want to see how to actually gap the ring, you can go over to the Command V Twin series, and I show how to use the. Oh yeah, we're good there. So, alright, we're good on that. I'm going to install these rings onto the piston. We'll get the crankshaft dropped in there, and we're moving right along. So, alright. Alright, y'all. Bring it back. We're going to put this cam crank down in this, and hopefully you guys can see. There's the timing mark right there. If I can get my hand up in there without blocking y'all. Right there, there's a little dot. Corresponds with this notch in the this tooth in the gear, and then the crank itself has a mark on it. You guys can see there I highlighted it in yellow and highlighted the tooth. So easiest way to do it is to set this face sitting up and drop it straight down in. There's not really a good way to video that, so I just wanted to show you guys that's how you line up the timing on these K301s. I'm sorry. Alright, y'all, got it set down in there. You guys can see that timing mark there. See my yellow mark on the crankshaft, and get you down in there, and she meshes up perfectly. So there we go. That's how you get her timed in there. So we can go from the top here and look down in. See, we're lined up perfect. As she comes around, she lines right up in there. Alright. Now, I'm going to put the rings on the piston and get the piston and connecting rod dropped down in. Alright, y'all. A little advice there. When you're putting your rings on, there'll be either a divot or a letter or something on by the gap, and that will face up. There's one on either ring. This one you can't really see real well. I don't know if you can see the other one or not, but you'll be able to see it with your naked eye. So, and so make sure you put those facing up. Alright, y'all, got the rings on the piston. Now when you're putting them on, make sure your end gaps aren't lined up. You'll have a bad day if you do. So we got that. They're all on. I'm going to grab my ring compressor and we'll drop these down in. Alright, y'all, I got some assembly lube down in the bore. got my piston ring compressor on here, and got that oil hole facing the cam. We're going to set that right down on like that. Press down, make sure our ring compressor is seated good. Get the little tool here. Compress them rings. Take our little hammer. Alright, I need to get the next size smaller compressor. So that one's not going small enough, so right size. We'll bring it right back. So, get that all snugged up in there. Y'all, this is getting to be getting on my nerves. Alright, I'm going to get this. We'll bring y'all back. Alright, what happened, y'all? I didn't notice it. My connecting rod turned a little bit and was resting against the counterweight on the crankshaft. So we're good to go now. Y'all seen she went right in there, so I'm going to flip her over and we'll put that bearing cap on and we'll have a rotating assembly. Alright, y'all. Got some good assembly lube up in there, and there is a thick side and a thin side on these connecting rods, so make sure you get that lined up right. Get that in there. Get those started all up. Got my little socket here. Now, if you're doing one of these, don't matter if it's stock or aftermarket rod, when you order your parts and you get them in, don't torque the or don't crank the bearing caps and stuff on real tight. You can deform them, and that's never a good thing. So, alright, I'm going to get these wound in here. I'm going to get the torque specs, go ahead and torque them, and we'll move on to putting the closure plate on the outside here. So, bring it right back. Alright, y'all, got that bearing cap in there and all torqued. For this particular rod and stuff, the torque spec is 24 foot-pounds or 285 inch-pounds, and then got the bearing closure plate here on, support plate. The torque spec on those are 35 foot-pounds. So that's the rotating assembly. She spins around nice and easy, no dragging. So, alright, next thing is we're going to put the valves and valves and valve springs and stuff in, and we're on the home stretch for this thing. So let me get that stuff ready to go, and we'll bring you back. Alright, y'all, I got a little sidetracked yesterday, but I did get the side cover on, bearing plate on here on this side. Got the oil pan on down here. We're getting ready to put the valves in, the valves and stuff in, the valve springs. So, yeah, she's coming along. So, I'll get the camera set up, some lights set up, and we'll get some valves put in this thing. All right, y'all. We're gonna start with the exhaust valve. I find it's easier for me, especially since I got the little engine stand here, that I can put these in, turn the motor upside down, put these valve springs and stuff in. Of course, I got the valve compressing tool. Just all you do is just tighten her down, are good and tight. Alright. Now there is a top and a bottom, of course. You know, this is the end that it's tapered. That's the end that your keepers go in. So you got to remember that whenever you're putting these together. So, alright, put a little lube on the valve stem here. Just to make sure that it slides in there nice and easy. No dry start. And I always try to get a little extra in the keeper slot there. Alright. There's that. And we're going to slide this in there. Maybe. I ain't got it tight enough yet. There we go. Push up on the lip keeper. Alright, there's that. Let the valve drop and hit the floor. Hit the ground, I should say. And I use a little bit of tape to kind of help keep it up in there. Get our little wedge keeper here. A little magnet. Stick it to it. Use the other end to kind of slide it around to the back side. Take the other one. Come in over here. And this is where that assembly lube really comes in handy. Lift up on the valve spring. Just back her off. There she is. She's in there. We're going to go ahead and do the other one now. Alright, I'm going to go over the components here a little bit. Of course, you know, you got your valve spring. You got your, I don't know what they call it, it's kind of like a shim. Put on there for wear. Then you got your keeper. Put that all in there. Slide her in the tool. Tighten her down a little bit. Open it. Well, you guys can't see, but I'll show you here in a second what I'm doing. You gotta open this little doodad here up and get it over top of that. Make sure they're seated down in. Make sure they're seated down in good and tight. Give it a little twist. Make sure she bites good, and then just crank her down. Hopefully I'll try to zoom in here a little bit and show you guys putting the keepers and stuff in there. My little piece of tape there. See, I just put a little piece of tape across the head of the valve. Little Astro glide there. Make sure I get in that notch down the shaft. It's ready to go in. Got our keepers there. Alright, set that down in there. Slide the valve in. Do. There it is. Got that in there. Now let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit here so you guys can actually see what's going on. Got my little magnetic screwdriver. Got that little magnetic tip on her there. And like I said, these are wedges. So there's a thin side and a thick side. Thick side goes towards the bottom, so it's wedged in there. We're going to stick that on there. Maybe. Try it again. Stick it on there. Don't drop it down in the keeper yet. We're going to put a little extra dab of assembly lube on here. Alright, there we go. That's kind of like glue. Sticks it on there, so do the other one. Little dab. Little dab do ya. Little yabba dabba do ya. Huh. Maybe. I'm just having all kinds of problems with this sucker. This side. Because I'm trying to use my left hand. I'll try the right hand. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright. They're stuck on there. Lift up. And take the tension off. Now sometimes I will use my other valve spring compressors. It's kind of like a C-clamp. Holds the valve up in place and compresses the spring all at the same time. That works on overhead valve engines, but on these you basically have to have this style because you have to have the valve out and put the spring in and then push the valve up through the center. So alright, we got her good there. Those are in. We're good to go. I'm going to go over this thing and see what the next part is. But I think the next part is we put the head on it, and she's a regular ready to go engine. So, zoom you guys out a little bit there. So, yeah, flip this thing over here, and we'll. I think we're ready to go with the head. So, hey y'all. All right, I pulled the head out of the box. Suppose this was a running engine before we started on her, but can you guys see that spark plug? That is not mud dauber, that is carbon. I think that thing needed a new spark plug. But yeah, so alright, I'm going to throw this in the parts washer, get that carbon and everything cleaned out of there, get that spark plug out of there, and then we're ready to throw it on. Alright y'all, we're ready to put the head on it. I got the head gasket here. Kind of get that lined up. I got the head all cleaned up. And just need to drop it on there. Drop these bolts down in. Maybe. There we go. Get that one lined up. Maybe. I'm having a rough day today. Now, those all get torqued to 30 foot-pounds total, but we're going to start at 20 and get them and there is a torque sequence on these. Just go side to side or whatever. I mean, you can follow it if you want, but just gotta round them and make sure they're all torqued to the 30 foot-pounds. And I did put a little lube down in them threads to make sure we're getting a true torque. So some people say to do it, some people say don't. I do it because it makes me happy. I always go around a couple times just to make sure. I'm a busy person today, or a popular person. Alright, there's our second time around. Heads on it. So basically the only thing left is the flywheel and the cover pieces, and we're ready to, well, I got to put the points on it, but I don't have a set of points, but Mark has those. So I guess next we'll throw the flywheel on, and then I got to set the valves, and I'm not going to show you guys that. It's simple. So yeah, that's basically it for right now. I'm going to get the flywheel throw it on here, and then we'll come back. Alright, y'all, we got it together as far as we can. I still have the clutch driver here, or clutch adapter for the Cub Cadet to put on here. It's in the parts washer. Get that tightened up. We did get the points on. Got the cam cover. Got the block off for the oil fuel pump. And I just bolted the coil here, or the condenser here, because it goes on the coil, which I don't have. We got this little sheet metal here on. I don't have the blower housing here. I don't have a carburetor here, but I did put the oil dipstick down in. But yeah, she's all together. She's ready to fire. We'll get with Mark and see if he wants to give me the rest of those parts, or if he just wants to take it and finish assembling it and fire it up. So there you go. That's it. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for the assembly of this K301. Hope you guys liked it. Like I said, there are still a few more parts that need to be put on, but that's, you know, just exterior sheeting, the air shield and stuff like that, the carburetor. Wish I would have had all those parts, but ain't no big deal. We know it's going to run because I built it. So, but yeah, that's all we're going to have for today. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, please go down, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell, get all the notifications, everything we do here at the shop, at the tractor pulls, you know, and wherever else we happen to be. Get the cooking videos on the Wednesdays. Those are some good things. So, again, appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you all on the next one.